go lay down. Go lay down.
Now you
It's
had
not therapy done.
you had said that living with mom was not a feasible option for you because of all the rules and whatnot that comes along with living under her house again,
Yeah,
right? Because you had also stated that being home reminded you of how it was when you were a child.
right.
So you have also said that Sue is a potential option short term should you need somewhere to go,
Yeah,
and you're comfortable having that conversation with her.
yeah. So we talked about it, I guess, because she's the one that got me to come here. So she had kind of said she was surprised that I didn't call her, or why didn't I, call her. She didn't care what time of night it was or whatever. That she, always
Okay.
has a place for
So
me to stay.
She's comfortable with you coming to
Yeah.
her should you need her in a situation like this again.
Yeah,
Now, I know that you have stated that you guys have talked, that you and Steven have talked about it, that he's saying that this is not going to happen again. But I think it's just a really good idea for you to have a plan in place should something like this happen again.
okay.
Okay? So you're going home to Steven.
Yep.
You want to stay with him. You want to continue the relationship that you guys have.
Yeah.
And you had also previously stated that one of your goals is to come to a place where you guys are comfortable talking to each other and communicating effectively so that you guys can talk things out instead of having these big blowouts that become physical.
Yeah.
So now that we have, should anything arise again, you do have that person that you can call. I think that we should also get another person that you could call. Is there anybody else?
My friend Patty. So I work with her too.
Okay, and you would be comfortable staying with Patty should you need to?
Yeah, we go out every once in a while together, and she's another one of my single friends that, she has her own place.
Okay, so we have Sue and we have Patty down as your persons of contact should you need to take some space away from your boyfriend.
Yep.
And you're comfortable with this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen again, but yeah, I just, like I said, there's no harm in planning.
Right. Having a plan of action just in case something does arise again, I think is a very good idea. Now, would you be comfortable contacting the authorities?
No, I don't. I don't see anything that, that I don't see where they need to get involved. But I don't want to get anybody else involved.
Okay. As long as you're comfortable with that. And I also am going to give you my information before you leave today, just in case you need to call me at any point. And if you just need someone to talk to or to help you work through things, you're welcome to give my work phone a call, and I can help you to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Now, we've already discussed that your goal of coming here today is to figure out ways for you to go back to your relationship with Steven and to get to a better place in terms of communication and whatnot. Do you think that Steven would be willing to come in to have a therapy session with you?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. Like I said, we just mostly, he just says how sorry he is, and I mean, he does say he'll do anything that, for us to stay together. So, we haven't really talked about it.
Now, do you think that you would be comfortable doing therapy sessions with him?
Well, I mean, I think it would be nice if we could, find a way to communicate better, and, so that when there is a problem, we can, be better at handling it.
So is there anything in particular that you think that you would need to work on with Steven, or for Steven to work on without you?
Well, I mean, I like I said, I think most of our he needs, I mean, I think it's just more, that when we set a goal that he just doesn't seem to stick with it. So we've talked, he says that we're going to save our money, and then it just doesn't happen.
So I understand that the precipitating problem for a lot of your arguments and a lot of the tension in your relationship. What I meant by my question is do you think that either of you would benefit from resources that I, as a therapist or another therapist, could potentially provide you guys with, like, for example, coping skills or going to different types of therapy for, like, anger management or anything along those lines?
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm not sure what he would say about that. I'm you know, I don't know. I mean, I think he thinks like I do, that it just happened once and it won't happen again.
Do you think you would benefit from something like anger management or anything like that? Or any support groups or anything like that we could potentially provide for you?
I don't know. I think, like I said, I just think it's a one-time thing. I think that I think that we're good. I mean, I just want to go home and go back to my house and have everything be okay.
Okay, so we have our goal, which is to get you and Steven to a better place in your relationship where communication is easier than it currently is, without it escalating to any physical interactions between the two of you. You want to be able to go home and feel safer than you did this last time around. We have come up with people that you can contact should you ever feel unsafe again. I think that it would be good to speak with Steven about potentially having sessions together, or separately, however it is the two of you wish to do it. Are you comfortable with having those sessions with him? Are there things that you would like to talk about without him present?
No, I'm fine. We can talk about we can talk about it together. We're good.
Were there any other goals that you were hoping to achieve throughout therapy, or?
No, like I said, I Sue kept saying that I should go see somebody, and so that's really kind of what made me come.
And you don't think that there's anything outside of Sue's recommendation that you personally would wish to get out of therapy?
Well, like I said, sometimes, maybe I could work on the way that I talk to Steven, and because, it's usually me kind of being bitchy or whatever that precipitates us getting, where we end up in a fight. I'm usually the one that starts it.
Okay. I think that we do have a couple of things that we could work on, whether Steven chooses to come in with you or whether it just continues to be you on your own throughout therapy. I would like to get Steven in on a session or two, whether he chooses to come on his own to have his own separate therapy outside of this, or whether it's just with you. I would like to be able to facilitate conversations between you and Steven to help the two of you come up with better ways of communicating with each other. I would also like to continue to meet with you on your own, whether you guys are having couples therapy or not. I think that it would be good to help you work on the goals that you have set for yourself outside of your relationship with Steve. I think that we should work on coming up with a few more goals. Are you comfortable with that?
Okay, yeah.
Now, I was also wondering if you would be comfortable with having sessions with your mother.
No, I don't really want to get my mom involved. I don't feel like it'll go anywhere.
Do you think that there's anything that you would ever wish to work on with your mother?
No, I'm just over that. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is.
Okay. So family sessions aren't something that you would be interested in outside of your mom, with your brother, sister?
No, we're good at ignoring each other.
Okay. That's something we can revisit later on in sessions with just you, but I would definitely like to get some sessions in with Stephen if at all possible.
Okay.
Now, I do have some resources that I would like to set you up with for emergency situations should you ever need them. I'm gonna after the session is over, I'm gonna give you a list of hotlines and emergency contacts that you can get in contact with should you not be able to get in contact with Sue or Patty, or should you also feel the need to contact them outside of contacting Sue and Patty in an emergency situation. Are you comfortable with that?
Okay.
I'm also going to give you some pamphlets and booklets with information about the resources so that you can have a better understanding of what they do, what they can provide for you, should you need them at all in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And if you feel uncomfortable with any of the information that's in them, I can also make it a point to go through them with you, or if you have any questions, you can feel free to call me if you're comfortable with that at all.
Okay,
Does
that sounds good. Yeah.
Alright, so now I just want to do a quick recap of what we've talked about through this session before we get into the part where we begin to set up an official treatment plan for you, okay?
Okay.
Now, do you plan on continuing therapy?
Yeah, I found today helpful. Yeah, I guess I'd like to come back.
Okay. So, in summary, today we've talked about the fact that you initially came in with the intention of breaking up with your boyfriend. That was the initial intention, but then we found out that the goal that we want to work towards is getting you to a better place in your relationship, because staying with him is what you ultimately wish.
Yep.
We have safety planned. We have come up with potential future sessions, whether that's with you, whether that's with Stephen, whether that's just the two of you or him on his own. I think from here on out, it might be a good idea for us to come up with different goals for you to work on, whether those are goals that pertain individually towards you, or whether those are goals that pertain to your relationship. Is that something that's feasible for you?
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to discuss today? Or anything else that you would like to be added to your treatment plan, or something that you'd be interested in?
No, I think that's a good place to start. I think if we just kind of, like I said, if I could come up with some better ways to communicate and kind of de-escalate the situation, I think that would be helpful.
Okay, so we can definitely work on that. So I think that we should do 2 sessions a week, or would you be comfortable starting out with 1 and then?
I think I only have time to do 1, like just because of my work schedule and stuff, and I've been picking up some extra hours, so I could continue to go at this time every week.
Okay, so for the time being, I think that due to your schedule, we can do 1 session a week, and should we need to have more sessions, we can revisit that later on in therapy.
Okay.
So we can make an appointment for sometime next week. I think that between now and next week, when we have that session, that we should begin to think about what it is that we want to work on for ourselves. I think that my homework for you is going to be to come up with maybe 1 more goal that you would like to achieve outside of better communication with Stephen.
Okay.
I also would like for you to speak with Stephen about potentially coming in for a session, whether that's by himself or whether that's with you. I think that might be beneficial to you.
Okay. I'll talk to him.
All right. It was great to meet you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Thanks.